Islam, Islam, Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Shabbat shalom, shalom. It's a little early, y'all. But you know me. Early bird get the worm. Yeah. Early bird eat. By the time all you lower self people get out of the bed and get your ass up, all the worms are gone. Now what you gonna do? Steal? Rob somebody? Kill somebody? Because you can't get your lazy ass up and get it out the mud. Straight up, man. This is what Moors did. This is what we've been doing in America for thousands of years, bro. Big bread, getting paid tribute just to come and talk to us. You had to pay us tribute. Now they didn't flipped everything. The Rothschilds done flipped everything. And now you got everybody going crazy except the Moorish Americans, the Muslims. Yeah, not the M-U. I'm talking about the M-O. The M-U. Huh. We don't do none of that dirty shit they do, man. They chop their women heads off, and we don't chop our women heads off, man. We take care of our women. We totally different from them. We're noble. We're vice royalty. We are the nobility of the world. These you melanated people here in i.e. America. 1828 Webster's Dictionary tells us that American copper colored races found here by the Europeans. Natty on Facebook Marketplace killing people for damn cell phones. R.I.P. to this brother, man. Rest easy, old brother. Rest easy, elder. Rest easy, elder. I will be meditating and sending prayers for you, brother. And prayers to the brother, man. And the little Slavic girl that did it. Because you're going to need some blessings to have to deal with this. So, man, I just hope y'all get y'all minds right, too. See? Moors, man, we pray for everybody, man. But karma is real, and you got to deal with it, man. Not like the fake Israel that was established in 1948. So that's the wrong place they fighting in any damn way. Funny, man. So let me get into this, man. This will hurt me. So check it out, y'all. This will hurt me. This will hurt. One second, y'all. Y'all knew they was gonna do something crazy. Whenever we try to help each other to uplift, here come StreamYard and YouTube with the crap. Here we go. So I guess I gotta find it again. Hold up. They trying their best, boy, but it ain't gonna work. Here we go. Let me mute up real quick. Give me 1 sec. Damn, now they cut the whole joint off. Hold up, man. What are they doing? What are they doing, man? All right, muting up, y'all.
capital murder charges after police say that she shot and killed a man who was selling a phone on Facebook Marketplace. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. 66-year-old Ahmad Al-Khalaf was shot and killed Friday afternoon near a busy Dallas intersection. His family describes him as their family's patriarch. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with the family today. Peyton.
Steve, and the victim's family tells me they are left shocked and horrified by this act of violence. They feel the 66-year-old's life was robbed all over a cell phone. Now, this meetup just happened feet away from an elementary school along with a busy Dallas freeway with multiple witnesses also nearby. A 66-year-old husband and father from Saxe was murdered in the middle of the afternoon at this Oak Cliff gas station just off 35 and South Marsalis Avenue. Shots rang out Friday afternoon around 3 p.m. just as Felix G. Botello Elementary School was letting out. According to court records, 2 Dallas ISD police officers rushed to the Valero and found Ahmad Al-Khalaf shot next to his pickup truck. Al-Khalaf later died at the hospital. Dallas detectives learned Al-Khalaf was there to sell a black iPhone 15 to someone he'd been communicating with on Facebook Marketplace. Police obtained multiple surveillance videos from nearby businesses. They say the video showed 19-year-old Amaya Medrano and Al-Khalaf had a short conversation, and then Medrano ran off. As Al-Khalaf followed her, cameras captured Medrano turning around and shooting him.
And out of nowhere, I just heard it, pow, pow, pow. It was like one shot, then 2 consecutive shots.
According to an arrest warrant affidavit Fox 4 obtained on Thursday, investigators were able to match Medrano's distinct tattoos on her face and neck to her social media accounts. Just 3 days after the fatal shooting, police noticed the same Facebook account communicating with Al-Khalaf was selling a black iPhone 15 on the marketplace. Dallas police announced Wednesday Medrano was in custody by U.S. Marshals and was booked into the Dallas County Jail. Al-Khalaf's family tells Fox 4 the 66-year-old was a beloved husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and friend, going on to say he was a humble man who worked hard to support his family locally and abroad. Court records show Medrano was serving a 5-year probation sentence for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after pleading guilty to stabbing someone last year in May of 2023. Now Medrano faces capital murder and her bond is set at $1 million.
Garland police arrested 2 murder suspects after chasing them in a stolen car that actually belonged to the victim.
Neighbors say the suspects were living with the victim before he was found dead, wrapped in sheets and a rug. Fox 4's David Santandri live with the update. David.
Yeah, those 2 murder suspects may have been living in the victim's condo for several days after they killed him, with his body still wrapped inside.
It always feels like
Home surveillance footage appears to show 2 20-year-old murder suspects, Haley Barber and Leo Moore, going in and out of a 53-year-old man's condo during the possible time frame in which police say they stabbed that man to death. The video is stamped from Saturday night. The victim's body was discovered early Monday morning.
It was several days. It does not appear that the stabbing occurred that morning, and we're working with the medical examiner to determine how long perhaps the person had been deceased.
Inside Johnny Mac Ross Jr.'s condo near Lake Ray Hubbard is where police found his body wrapped up.
From my understanding, there's multiple different types of material. There was like some sheeting, bed sheeting type of materials, as well as perhaps maybe like a rug or something to that effect.
Police say a smell was coming from the condo this past weekend, and neighbors say it became progressively worse.
Maybe Sunday evening, you could really start to smell it.
Dylan Meadows and other neighbors say Barber and Moore were living with the victim for the past few weeks. Meadows says he heard unusually loud noises coming from the apartment.
Last week, we heard them a couple times getting into it.
Meadows says he's only had positive exchanges in the 6 months he's known Ross.
We used to go fishing all the time out back. He used to come down and sit out there and fish with us. He used to bring us food, sit there on the grill. He was a really cool dude.
Others in the community, however, tell Fox 4 there was high-risk activity associated with the condo.
There's still a lot more information that our detectives are trying to uncover.
Barber and Moore allegedly stole Ross's 2001 Mercedes and led police on a chase before being arrested near LBJ Freeway Monday afternoon. Police, however, do not necessarily believe the stolen vehicle was a motive behind the murder.
But it's one of those situations that it just leaves a question as to why.
The two suspects are being held in the Garland City Jail. Police say they are being somewhat cooperative.
DeSoto police say a woman shot an armed intruder who followed her to her home. Neighbors reported hearing several shots Friday night just before 8 o'clock. When police arrived, they found a man with gunshot wounds inside the woman's garage. A pistol was next to him. Who heard the gunshots. Peyton Yeager is live in DeSoto.
Clarice, and the woman told DeSoto police that a truck followed her home from a nearby Taco Bell here in DeSoto. Now, neighbors still concerned and tell me this could have happened to any of them. Many of them called 911 quickly after hearing those gunshots. A quiet DeSoto cul-de-sac was disrupted Friday evening.
I just heard one gunshot go off first. Then it was followed by two more.
Neighbors like DJ James called 911 after hearing gunfire. In this surveillance video, a family is seen flicking on their back porch lights just before 8 p.m. on Friday. That's when DeSoto police say a woman shot a man who was trying to break into her home near South Polk Street and Beltline Road. That man was later identified as 35-year-old Octavio Flores Mondragon.
There was a lot of confusion going on, and shortly thereafter, the DeSoto Police Department showed up.
Surveillance video shows a caravan of DeSoto police cars responding within minutes. Police say dispatch could hear a woman screaming as Mondragon tried to force his way into her home through the garage door. The video then shows officers holding guns running to the back alley, where they found Mondragon's shot and a loaded pistol lying next to him.
We just don't have this kind of activity here, so to me, it was jarring and scary.
The woman told police a truck followed her home from a nearby Taco Bell. She said the truck then pulled into her driveway and an armed man attempted to get inside her home. Police say the woman called 911, grabbed a handgun, and shot Mondragon, who was later taken to a hospital and is now charged with burglary. The woman and her family didn't answer the door on Monday. However, her neighbors are thankful she's safe.
Because all these alleys are pretty much dark. So, someone that's looking to do something up to no good, they see something like that and just like, but luckily, she has safety and God with protection, and a blessing over her. So I'm glad that, it could have went a lot worse.
They're great neighbors. I love them both, and it's just sad that it had to happen.
Clarice, and last check from DeSoto police, the suspect remains in critical condition this evening at the hospital. And we looked up his public records, and the suspect only lives about a mile away from the victim. DeSoto police tell me they're still investigating a motive in this case, and they're also investigating to see if the suspect is connected to other crimes or calls in that neighborhood as well.
Police records describe with graphic detail how a 19-year-old man got past security and sexually attacked his ex-girlfriend at her high school. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager.
And I'm Heather Hayes. Mesquite police say the victim's mother told officers her daughter was in danger just hours before that attack. Fox 4's Alex Boyer is live in Mesquite with more on the investigation. Alex.
Hey guys, and according to an arrest warrant affidavit, the victim's mother went to the Mesquite Police Department in person just prior to the attack to report that the suspect had been harassing her daughter and had threatened to show up at her daughter's school. After that, she even went to the school to let school resource officers know in person.
It was Tuesday afternoon when Mesquite police say 19-year-old Sinias Elijah was able to bypass security at Horn High School and sexually assault his ex-girlfriend in a school restroom. Despite heightened attention on school security across Texas, police say a student at Horn let Elijah into the secure building.
And you just need one individual to have nefarious intentions to have the ability to access that vulnerable spot. and in they'll get in.
Dr. Alex Picaro is a criminologist not involved in this case. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, Elijah, who was dressed in all black and wore a hoodie over his head, encountered the victim in the hallway. The report states Elijah slapped her on the face, causing her headphones to get knocked to the ground, produced a kitchen knife, and said he was going to stab her, and choked her by placing one of his hands around her neck. Those details were confirmed in surveillance video recorded by school cameras. The video cuts off when the two enter a bathroom where the victim said Elijah allegedly sexually assaulted her before taking off.
It is a very rare occurrence, but it is the reason for those procedures and protocols and why students need to make sure they follow them.
Lieutenant Michael Kelly says there are 2 designated entrance points at the school, adding that the student let Elijah in through a locked exterior door. Elijah was arrested at his home in Seagoville. State lawmakers have made school safety a top priority in response to the deadly mass school shooting in Uvalde. Legislation passed last year created the requirement for an armed security guard to be present on all campuses and silent panic alarms to be installed in classrooms, among other security enhancements. At Mesquite Horn, police say 3 officers are always assigned to the campus, but experts say this incident is an example of how even the best security plans aren't foolproof.
All those plans are worthless when a person takes actions that allow opportunities to get into the school that are not accounted for in the security plan.
And in a letter sent home to parents, the school district stated that the student who let Elijah into the building is being disciplined, but would not elaborate, citing student privacy laws. I can tell you that there is a school board meeting tonight. We, of course, will monitor it and let you know of any developments that may come of that.
A driver is recovering in the hospital after he was shot by a passenger who hired him for a ride in Fort Worth. Fort Worth police are searching for the gunman and the woman who was with him. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is live in Fort Worth. And Peyton, you spoke to that driver.
Clarice, I did, and that driver, the victim, tells me he was a little uneasy when the suspect got in the car because the suspect got in the front seat and then was hesitant in paying up front, and then a woman got in the back seat. The victim says that the suspect demanded his car and then opened fire.
He shot me down, looked at my arm. I'm like, I got shot. So all I see is blood. I'm like, I don't know if I go left, I don't go right. So I think he got the apartment and go to the nearest convenience store.
Mark's Jean made the quick decision to drive to a nearby taco casa after he was shot multiple times Tuesday evening. The 29-year-old from Arlington bleeding as he dialed 911 for help.
Honestly, I'm feeling blessed. Yes, I'm in pain. At the same time, though, I'm blessed to be here.
Jean tells Fox 4 from his hospital bed Wednesday he's been driving for Lyft on the side for 5 years. However, Tuesday night, he agreed to a ride off the platform from an apartment complex near Crowley Road and Sycamore School Road. Jean says he met the gunman last week while giving him a Lyft ride and offered his phone number for any future off-the-book rides. Once the suspect was in the car, Jean asked for a fare to be paid up front. An argument took place, and then Jean says the suspect opened fire, striking him in the arm and the leg.
He pulled a gun on me. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, it's all going fast. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, yo, give me your car. You're going to get out the car.
We don't know if this was going to lead to a carjacking, some kind of robbery, but it did involve a disagreement.
The gunman took off on foot. Fort Worth police are still looking for the suspect.
One of the things we want to make sure we stress is it's always safest to use the applications that are out there. For instance, Lyft, it has emergency notifications. It lets you know who you picked up, where you picked them up from, and their destinations.
Again, Jean is in a Fort Worth hospital and he had surgery late this afternoon. Fort Worth police tell me they are still looking for the gunman, and they also want to speak to the woman who was present for the shooting. Now, Lyft tells us while this didn't happen on their platform, they are assisting Fort Worth police in the investigation. And in their statement, Lyft says off the platform rides are prohibited. Clarice?
Peyton. A North Texas police chief is describing the incident that led to the recent criminal indictment of one of his officers. Good evening. I'm Clarice Tinsley. Lake Worth police terminated Officer Landon Rollins this summer. Fox 4's Deanne Anglin spoke with the department's chief today. Deanne.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, the encounter took place in this area of North Fort Worth, a use of force that the police chief describes as allegedly going too far.
With the conversations that were taking place between the suspect and the doctors and the nurses about what happened, he shared one version of the story that was contradicting what was told by the officer.
That officer, now under criminal indictment, is 3-year Lake Worth PD veteran Landon Rollins. He's also a former officer of Fort Worth PD. Rollins appeared in past reports on Fox 4 News with both police departments. On May 14th, Rollins was overseeing an undercover drug sting operation.
We were set up to do the deal at one location, and then there was kind of this spin-off location, so he went to go scout that location.
That encounter between Rollins and suspect 32-year-old Tyler McKinney is the reason Rollins now faces 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of tampering with a government document for allegedly lying about what occurred during the encounter.
A foot pursuit ensued, and then there was an incident where force was used against the suspect, and we were not made immediately aware of the severity of that.
Although there were no witnesses to what happened, the chief says other officers within the department who accompanied the suspect to a hospital made the chief aware that Rollins likely crossed the line with the use of force.
I can say that there were lacerations to his head that we believe were caused by the officer's radio.
By July 8th, an internal affairs review of Rollins' use of force and his attempt to conceal his actions in a report resulted in the chief taking action.
I made the decision right then and there to terminate.
As well as a message sent to citizens and sworn officers that his department prioritizes accountability and transparency.
I hope it provides assurances to our officers that we're committed to creating an environment of professional policing and that any type of misconduct is not going to be tolerated.
The police chief says the suspect is someone they believe was involved in drug trafficking and other crimes. It is up to the courts now to decide whether the officer's actions went too far.
Police in the Fort Worth suburb of Haltom City arrested 2 men who they say shot and killed a 16-year-old boy during a road rage incident earlier this year. 16-year-old Raul Gonzalez was shot to death while riding in the car with his brother. Police say shortly after the shooting, the suspects posted a Snapchat video about it, and police say they made efforts to conceal what they did. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live in Haltom City with the story. Peyton.
Steve, and the 2 men arrested are from Fort Worth. They remain in the Tarrant County Jail this evening, charged with murder. Police say these 2 young men, these 2 suspects, tried to bleach the outside of the suspect vehicle and also spray paint the outside of the suspect vehicle before they left it behind at a vacant Fort Worth home. It was in this Fort Worth backyard where investigators say a black 1999 Honda Accord tied to a Haltom City road rage murder was ditched. Flock cameras and surveillance video of the Honda's license plate led investigators to 21-year-old Josue Moreno and 21-year-old Juan Perez.
The subjects didn't tell the truth about where the vehicle was. They had a story about it being sold to someone.
Tuesday, Haltom City detectives detailed the 2-month-long investigation, unraveling evidence they believe places the 2 21-year-olds inside the Honda on the night of September 15th. Police say both men opened fire, killing 16-year-old Raul Gonzalez. The victim was in the passenger seat of a Chrysler 300. The teenager's brother was driving and had just pulled out of a parking lot in front of the Accord. Seconds later, surveillance video shows the Honda drive up next to the Chrysler. Police say Moreno fired a handgun from the driver's seat. Perez fired a rifle. The bullets went through the right side of the Honda and into the back of the Chrysler.
It was later learned during the investigation that the subjects not only talked to other people about the offense, but posted on social media. So there was at least a handful of people that knew about it.
Police say a few of Moreno's friends were interviewed by Haltom City Police. Their phones were scrubbed, revealing Google searches of Fox 4's previous stories of the deadly shooting. Investigators also found Snapchat videos of the two suspects reenacting the shooting with others in the background.
We know there's people out there that have specific information about the offense.
Haltom City Police tell me they believe there were 4 suspects inside that black Honda Accord. Now 2 are in custody, so they're still looking for 2 more. They're asking the community if anyone has any information to please come forward.
A Rowlett community says a 17-year-old has been wreaking havoc on neighbors, and now he's been arrested for multiple burglaries of motor vehicles. Fox 4's Amelia Jones joins us live after speaking with some of those neighbors. Amelia?
David, neighbors tell me this isn't the first time they've seen police on their street regarding 17-year-old Deshaun Marquise Davis. In July, neighbors say police were called out for another incident involving Davis. Now that he's in police custody, neighbors tell me they feel relieved and hope their neighborhood can go back to feeling safe and quiet. On Wednesday, SWAT teams descended on a Rowlett home on Magnolia Lane. Rowlett police were serving a search warrant connected to the arrest of 17-year-old Deshaun Marquise Davis for burglary of multiple vehicles over the past 7 months. Davis was arrested in Garland on Wednesday.
I definitely feel safer, yes.
Neighbors like Drew Welch are aware of Davis and his alleged crimes.
Well, I knew that this particular person has been wreaking havoc in the neighborhood, but happy to see that the situation was being resolved.
A homeowner who lives in the neighborhood across the street sent Fox 4 this Ring doorbell footage taken in late October. You see someone trying to open the car door, then leaves when they're unsuccessful. The homeowner believes this is Davis and offered to turn the video over to police if they need it.
Since all of this has been going on, we've had nightly patrol and things like that, which I'm very grateful for. But other than that, this neighborhood is very quiet and very safe.
Officers recovered 4 stolen firearms and seized several computers that are believed to be stolen when they searched Davis's home. Several neighbors told us off camera seeing police and SWAT teams outside the home didn't surprise them. They hope this is a turning point for the neighborhood and Davis.
I really just hope that this is the end of it and that this juvenile can turn his life around from here.
Rowlett police didn't comment on any previous incidents involving Davis. Police say this is still an ongoing investigation as detectives are following up on the evidence that was recovered. David, back to you.
It's Amelia Jones reporting. Amelia, thank you for that report.
The Texas Supreme Court has cleared the way for Robert Roberson to be executed. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager.
I'm Heather Hayes. Roberson's execution was held up originally because a House committee wanted him to testify. Some lawmakers think he may be innocent. Fox 4's Stephen Dial live with what's next.
The Anderson County District Attorney, where that case originated, will have to now file a new petition for execution. And while the state Supreme Court told lawmakers they can't block the execution, they said they are within their right to still get testimony from Roberson.
Robert Roberson was scheduled to be executed October 17th for the murder of his 2-year-old daughter, but the execution was blocked when a state House committee issued a last-minute order for him to testify at a hearing about his case. Friday, the Texas Supreme Court told state lawmakers they cannot use the power of a subpoena to delay an execution.
But the court said, look, we got 3 branches of government and they all have something to say here. Right? The legislature has an interest in these committees in researching laws. The executive has the pardon power. The judiciary takes care of having the trial and the post-conviction proceedings. But at some point when they come together, you just have to balance them.
The court acknowledged lawmakers have the power to call witnesses to testify, but said legislative investigatory power, even at its maximum, is insufficient to forestall a long-scheduled execution under the circumstances presented here. Constitutional lawyer David Cole said the court basically told lawmakers they tried to step in too late.
This court opinion says it's the last minute and then some. We're done. And you have an interest in revising the laws of Texas, but not one that warrants slowing this up any further.
Lawmakers on the bipartisan committee believed Roberson may be innocent. They called expert witnesses and the lead detective on the case to testify in support of that belief. But other relatives of the victim, 2-year-old Nikki Curtis, criticized the committee, and neither the governor nor courts intervene on his behalf. The Anderson County DA would have to now get a new death warrant, and execution would happen no earlier than 90 days after that date. Friday's court ruling said lawmakers can still compel Roberson to testify as long as it does not inevitably block a scheduled execution. Democrat State Representative Joe Moody from El Paso and Republican State Representative Jeff Leach from Plano issued a statement saying, in part, the Supreme Court strongly reinforced our belief that our committee can indeed obtain Mr. Roberson's testimony and made it clear that it expects the executive branch of government to accommodate us in doing so. That has been our position all along, and we look forward to working with the executive branch to do just that.
Now, an execution would happen no earlier than 90 days after that execution warrant is obtained. And now, David Cole told me that the attorneys for Roberson could try one last Hail Mary, but he thinks it's unlikely that's going to the Criminal Court of Appeals with their new justices that will be sworn in January.
Been deported from the U.S., received a 37-year prison sentence for a string of burglaries in Collin County. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Blake Hansen. Sergio Cardenas Salinas pleaded guilty to leading a criminal burglary operation targeting gold, jewelry, and cash. He and several others were arrested last year. Prosecutors say they targeted victims of mostly South Asian descent. Fox 4's David Tendry spoke with one of the victims and joins us live from the Plano Police Department. David?
Well, the twice deported ringleader of these burglaries targeted immigrant families, believing they keep a lot of cash on hand and other valuables.
And they were targeting them.
30-year-old Sergio Cardenas Salinas, a twice deported citizen of Honduras, is now sentenced to 37 years in prison for leading an organized criminal operation responsible for nearly a dozen high-profile burglaries in Collin County last year.
You know, it's alarming to think of someone who's been twice deported can come back over and be the ringleader of organized crime right here in Collin County.
District Attorney Greg Willis says Cardenas Salinas was the ringleader of a group based in Houston, consisting of 9 crew members from Central and South America.
Here we've got Venezuela, Honduras, and Guatemala.
The group allegedly drove to Collin County to target residents of Asian, South Asian, and Middle Eastern descent, believing they were easy targets.
And kept extra amounts of cash and valuables in their homes.
Are y'all still feeling somewhat scared knowing that this invasion of privacy happened?
Yes, of course.
This man, who does not want to show his face, had his apartment broken into at this complex in Plano and about $20,000 worth of items stolen.
But unfortunately, as soon as I stepped into my house, the whole of the house is upside down, so that really frightened us.
He immigrated from India in 2017. In total, 10 families were victimized throughout Plano, Prosper, and McKinney.
Well, there's a certain cruel irony there. I mean, we have legal migrants and citizens here contributing to Collin County. They've come to our country for safety. They've come to our country for opportunity. And now they've got somebody who has no respect for the law and never should have been here in the first place, being the ringleader on exploiting them and harming them and stealing from them.
Plano police detectives gathered surveillance footage to identify suspect vehicles. The group was arrested in September of last year.
The ringleader is the first to be convicted.
We put this all in front of a jury, and jury said this man needs to go down for 37 years.
No word on what's next for the other 8 suspects. That 30-year-old ringleader is the oldest of the group. The youngest right now, 19 years old. Heather, Blake, back to you.
The Fort Worth police officer arrested for a road rage incident while off duty has now been fired.
Fort Worth's police chief said William Martin used unjustified force when he shot a driver he said struck his car, drove off, and later tried to ram his car as he chased the driver. Martin had already been arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon over the incident. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live in Fort Worth with reaction to the firing. Peyton.
Blake, and after 19 years with the Fort Worth Police Department, Officer William Martin has been fired. This comes after an administrative investigation. In a press release earlier today, Fort Worth Police Chief Neil Noakes said, quote, "The Fort Worth Police Department will hold officers accountable for wrongdoing." Friday, the Fort Worth Police Department announced Officer William Martin has been fired after using unjustified force in an off-duty shooting last month. On September 3rd, Martin called 911 to report a Ford F-150 pickup truck hit his Honda near I-35W in Morningside Drive and then took off. The officer told dispatch he was chasing the truck and then opened fire when the other driver tried to ram his personal vehicle. The driver of the truck, identified as Samuel Christopher, was shot and survived his injuries. In Martin's signed statement, he alleged Christopher was the aggressor. Martin maintains his innocence, insisting Christopher struck his vehicle and then threatened the lives of other drivers. However, Christopher claimed he wasn't aware he collided with Martin's vehicle. Christopher also told police Martin was following him and didn't realize Martin was a police officer. Christopher's attorneys spoke to reporters on September 24th, shortly after Martin was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Mr. Christopher remained in his vehicle while Officer Martin continued toward his pickup truck from Mr. Christopher's left side. Fearing for his life, Mr. Christopher turned his vehicle to the right to drive away from Officer Martin. It was then that Officer Martin opened fire.
Martin, a 19-year veteran with Fort Worth Police, does have a disciplinary history.
Quicker that they could solve an issue, the better.
That's Bob Ray Sanders' reaction Friday to the firing of Officer Martin. Sanders, a former co-chair of Fort Worth's Race and Culture Task Force.
There are people who thought that he should have been fired years ago, and certainly after this incident, fired immediately.
In 2016, Martin was suspended for excessive force during the controversial arrest of Jacqueline Craig and her daughter. Video showed him throwing the women to the ground. Charges against the two women were later dropped, and Craig's family received a $150,000 settlement from the city of Fort Worth. For the 2016 case, Martin served a 10-day suspension. 8 years later, Martin is now fired from the force.
Without a doubt, this offers some transparency. Keep in mind that the Fort Worth Police Department had a history for a long time of mistrust on the part of the community. Chief Noakes, that I consider to be a good chief. He's tried. I know he's under all kinds of pressure, but for him to come out now and say, okay, after our investigation, we think that the proper thing to do is to relieve this person of duty, to get him out of the department.
And we reached out to Martin's attorneys for a statement on the firing. They got back to us calling the termination, quote, the foreseeable result of a garbage investigation. And we also reached out to Christopher's attorneys. They got back to us saying that right now they do not want to make any type of statement on camera or a written statement about this firing. Blake and Heather.
All right, Peyton Yeager, thank you.
A former medical assistant arrested again last week on a second indecency charge with a child remains in jail tonight. Police say the most recent charge against Angel Nunez involves a 9-year-old victim, and they provided more evidence of potentially illegal behavior around other minors at a pediatric center in Irving. Fox 4's David Centenry is outside the Dallas County Jail with our update. David.
Well, Angel Nunez is not and has never been a physician. His main job task was to take vital signs, according to Irving Police Department. Now they say he was using his job to inappropriately touch young boys. Irving police say a 9-year-old boy is the latest victim of indecency with a child, allegedly at the hands of 25-year-old pediatric assistant Angel Nunez. Police say Nunez, who worked at Little Spurs Pediatrics in Irving and other locations, showed a pattern of taking children to exam rooms without their parents and telling them they need a genitalia test. The 9-year-old told forensic investigators Nunez took him to a room away from his mother to perform the test, which he was not authorized or trained to perform. Nunez was first charged on September 5th for allegedly fondling a 14-year-old boy. Nunez posted a $100,000 bond 2 days later. At the time, Fox 4 spoke with Nunez over the phone. Police were saying that you would take these kids into a different room and talk to them about having a hernia exam. Nunez denied the allegations. On Thursday, he was booked back into Dallas County Jail for the charge against the 9-year-old and has a $300,000 bond. On Monday, Fox 4 went to Nunez's listed address in Grand Prairie. It's located across the street from a recreation center and an elementary school. Nunez's family members did not want to speak on camera, but say the allegations are not in his character and they support him. The affidavit also lists allegations against Nunez that have not resulted in criminal charges, but show a pattern of behavior. A 17-year-old claims that back in March, Nunez tried to watch him provide a urine sample at the clinic, then later took the 17-year-old's phone number from medical records and contacted him numerous times, asking him to hang out. Nunez worked at Little Spurs pediatric facilities in Irving, Fort Worth, Arlington, and Grand Prairie. The clinic says that once it was made aware of these allegations, it immediately contacted Child Protective Services. Irving Police Department believes there are more victims out there.
Police in North Richland Hills arrested a driver they say drove drunk, struck and killed a 64-year-old man right in front of his own home. Jose Velez's family says he was walking to his car when the driver hit him. First responders tried life-saving measures, but it wasn't enough. His daughter spoke with Fox 4's Peyton Yeager today, saying she is at a complete loss for a man who was her everything. Peyton is in North Richland Hills. Peyton.
Steve, and the victim's daughter tells me all of this took place so fast. Before her dad was killed, they were actually having a conversation on the front porch, and then she went inside to do a laundry. She tells me she had no clue that would be their final conversation.
My dad's gone, just like that. Just a random stranger took my dad away. And it literally happened like in front of my house.
Monday, Daniela Valles described to Fox 4 her father's final moments.
He was on his way to my sister's house.
Orange cones marked the spot where 64-year-old Jose Valles was killed by an alleged drunk driver Sunday evening. It happened in a neighborhood west of Roof Snow Drive in Boulevard 26. Daniela says she was inside doing laundry and had just said goodbye to her dad, who was going to get in his vehicle parked on the street.
All I heard is a big boom. I ran out the door, and I just see my dad on the floor. I yelled, "Help, help."
Jose Valles had a critical head injury and was rushed to the hospital where he later died. His vehicle was also sideswiped. This photo was taken by a neighbor and sent to Fox 4.
He passed away in the room. They couldn't do anything about it.
Meanwhile, North Richland Hills police say the driver who struck the 64-year-old didn't stop. Nearby witnesses chased down the suspect, who eventually was taken into custody. Investigators haven't identified the driver publicly yet. It's still unclear how fast the suspect was going. The speed limit in this neighborhood is 30 miles per hour.
We've been having problems with this street for quite a while.
Daniela says speeding outside her childhood home has been a common issue. A home where her dad raised her and her siblings
and was helping raise his grandchildren as well.
But I'm just gonna miss him. He did everything, like literally everything for me. I'm really hurt.
And we are still waiting at this hour for the suspect to be transferred from North Richland Hills Police Department to the Tarrant County Jail. Once that suspect is booked at the jail, North Richland Hills police tell me that driver will be charged with intoxication manslaughter and collision involving death, leaving the scene, and failure to render aid.
Dallas police have asked Fox 4's Sean Rabb to help try and find the person or persons responsible for the murder of a 34-year-old Dallas man 9 months ago. Good evening. I'm Clarice Tinsley. Cody Ward was described as a super Dallas Mavericks fan and a man with no enemies, but someone took his life. Fox 4's Sean Rabb joins us with the story. Sean.
And right now, Clarice, this is a case that has more questions than answers. And sometimes you find cases like that, especially murder cases. And this, the case of Cody Ward, one of those right now. What has the last 9 months been like since January 11th? What's that been like?
It's pretty hard to describe, Sean. This is something that you never would have think happened or never would have thought would have happened to you or your family. It has really changed our lives tremendously.
Carlton Ward with daughter Cortland is talking about the day he found his son, Cody Ward, murdered in his condominium at 5100 Verde Valley Lane in Dallas.
Cody he loved life. Cody loved life. You know, he skied, he hunted, he four-wheeled. Huge Maverick fan. Huge Maverick fan. Had season tickets.
Cody was one of 3 children. His brother, a doctor out of state. His sister, a local lawyer.
My brother was one of my best friends, and he was passionate about life.
Cody worked with his father, a retired Dallas firefighter, in the family business. He also had an apparel line and produced music beats for local rappers. His dad went to his condo when he didn't show up for work or answer his phone January 11th.
I'm trying to find a key. I don't have a key. I can't get in. So finally, I just broke a window and went upstairs. And go upstairs and bedroom to the left, I mean, I can tell something had happened. Holes in the walls, clothes everywhere, stuff turned over.
It looked like it had been a fight or something?
It's been a hell of a fight.
Whoever he was fighting with pulled a gun, shooting and killing him.
On January 10th, the afternoon or the evening, someone that Cody knew came over here and did this. The door was locked. It was someone that he knew. It was someone that he was familiar with.
Detective Jaleesa Reed says she has found nothing that might lead to this.
No enemies that I know of, but I do know that people talk. People talk. There isn't a perfect crime, so someone told someone, and I want that someone to come forward.
I wish they would come forward to give us peace of mind and give us a closing on Cody.
That's all we can get right now. We can't get Cody back, so this is what we need to kind of not move on, but just keep going and push forward.
Crime Stoppers offering a $15,000 reward. Detective Jaleesa Reed hoping someone will come forward. You can remain anonymous. Her cell phone number, her email right now on your screen. This case, Clarice, of course, has been open 9 months. It could be open a lot longer unless someone comes forward and does the right thing.
Sean, thank you.
Louisville police officers acted quickly to arrest a man for a deadly shooting that happened at a business across the street from a police station.
So the shooting happened late this morning, but details surrounding it remain vague. We do know it happened inside a business and that the victim and the suspected shooter knew one another. Fox 4's David Sintendry live in Louisville. David.
As of now, police have not released the name of the woman who was shot and killed, and they also have not released the name of that suspected shooter who has been taken over to the Denton County Jail. Police say they knew one another, but at this point in time, it's unclear how.
Targeted her and shot her.
It was inside this Louisville business where police say people witnessed one of their coworkers being shot at her desk while on lunch break Thursday.
They're still trying to process what just happened in front of them.
Louisville police officer Rachel Roberts recalls hearing of the shooting just after 11:30 in the morning.
I was in my office and I watched a bunch of our CID officers go running out saying there's an active shooter at 1825 Lakeway.
That address sounded closely familiar.
And I quickly realized that is directly behind me in my office.
The department shares a parking lot with Allegiance trucks. Police arrived on scene within minutes and say the suspect was inside giving himself up.
He was already on his knees with his hands in the air with no weapon showing.
Police say they recovered a gun. The woman was pronounced dead before arriving at a hospital.
And we still haven't got a clear picture of what their relationship was, if they even had a relationship.
A door handle is broken at the front entrance of the business. It's unclear if that's from police, the shooter, or someone else. It appears people need a code or badge to get in. It's unclear if the suspected shooter worked there or had some sort of access. The department says it's interviewing a couple dozen witnesses.
Some were inside, some were outside, and some had nothing to do with it. They were just in the vicinity when this was going on.
We last exchanged messages with Louisville Police Department about an hour and a half ago, and a spokesperson said that the suspected shooter is still in the booking process over at the Denton County Jail, awaiting for a mugshot to be taken. Once that's uploaded, we'll expect to get some more information, name, date of birth, etc., and we'll hope to get you that information as soon as possible. But for now, Heather and Blake, I'll send it back to y'all.
All right, David.
Dallas police say a group of suspects in a stolen vehicle rammed their officers, and those officers then opened fire. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather.
Side apartments off Walnut Hill Lane in US 75. From Sky 4, you can see that vehicle surrounded one of the squad cars with its airbag deployed. Police say at least one suspect was shot and wounded. Fox 4's David Santendry live at Dallas Police headquarters with the latest in the investigation. David.
And today we saw officers with long guns searching through that apartment complex, and that's because one of those four suspects is still on the run. It's difficult to see, but you can hear the moment Dallas police squad cars roll up on a stolen truck, and then that truck accelerates and rams into them. Seconds later, officers fire their weapons.
It's crazy, to be in the house and just hear some random gunshots.
Investigators collected evidence on scene at the Lakeside Apartments near Walnut Hill Lane, just off US 75. It was early Thursday morning when undercover officers received a flock camera hit to a stolen red GMC pickup truck. The undercovers located it at the complex, occupied, so they requested backup, specifically uniformed officers. Once those uniformed officers arrived, however, the police chief says the truck accelerated and rammed into two squad cars. You can see an airbag in one of the squad cars deployed. That's when officers opened fire.
All I heard was boom, 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 boom.
One suspect was shot and taken to a hospital. An evidence marker appears to show where a stray bullet entered an apartment. A second suspect has a non-shooting related injury and was taken to a hospital. A third suspect was arrested. Police are still searching for a fourth suspect who ran away.
There was nothing routine about this job. What was a stolen vehicle that officers responded to turns into be a deadly encounter with police officers getting rammed, with armed suspects fleeing, and officers putting their lives on the line.
3 suspect weapons were found at the scene, and it turns out one of the suspects in custody has an active murder warrant in Dallas.
I stopped doing stupid stuff.
Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia would not say which suspect has the murder warrant or what killing it's connected to. Certainly a wild afternoon for people living at the complex.
Police kind of told me to go back in and mind my business. I'm just seeing the stretchers, the yellow tape and stuff like that.
It's unclear if any of those suspects fired their guns at officers. Chief Garcia says in the near future they plan to release body camera or possibly dash camera footage of the incident, and at that point in time he'll take questions and elaborate on what they say happened over at the scene. That is a very standard protocol for this department. For now, Blake and Heather, I'll send it back to y'all.
All right, David.
One of the suspects taken into custody after yesterday's officer-involved shooting in Dallas was wanted for 2 counts of capital murder. We brought you the story as breaking news. 4 people were in the stolen red pickup. 1 was shot by police and taken into custody. 2 others were arrested. 1 got away. Fox 4's Sean Rabb in studio now with what's new in this case. Sean.
And the 19-year-old, one of the 4 in that stolen pickup truck, was wanted for that double murder that happened back in March. Deontay Quindell Moore is in the Dallas County Jail, charged with 2 counts of capital murder. His bond, $1.5 million. March 22nd, Dallas police found 18-year-old Cameron Stacy dead outside of a vehicle in the parking lot of Uncle Lee Grocery, 3800 Dixon, South Dallas. 18-year-old Kamari Smith Capps dead in the driver's seat. Both shot to death. Now, we obtained the arrest affidavit for Moore. Here's what it says. That social media conversation showed that Smith Capps was going to sell Glock switches to Moore, and that Moore's phone registered off of a cell phone tower near that offense location, and that both suspects were caught on tape getting out of the victim's car and running away before the capital murder cases. Deontay Quindell Moore had only 1 charge that we could find, just 1, and that was an evading case from 2022. Now, these Glock switches, they're small devices that can be attached to a Glock semi-automatic, converting it to a rapid-fire machine gun-like pistol. Last month, the feds announced Operation Kill Switch in Texas to try and stop the switches, which are right now sweeping streets. Several guns were also found in that stolen pickup truck Thursday. Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia will go through squad car and body camera video Tuesday afternoon, as he does with every officer-involved shooting. We may also learn at that time if any switches were also found in that stolen pickup truck.
All right, more to come on this. Sean Rabb, thank you. 2 young men are charged with capital murder for the shooting death of an 18-year-old near downtown Dallas. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. Police say the men were looking to rob the victim. Arrest paperwork says Isaiah Simmons and Christopher Gaines chased down the victim. 2 teenage girls were previously arrested for murder, and police are still looking for a 5th suspect. Fox 4's David Centendry is in Dallas tonight with the story. David.
Well, a Dallas police affidavit says the victim was trying to run away from being robbed, but then he was shot in the back. 18-year-old Isaiah Simmons and 19-year-old Christopher Gaines now charged with capital murder in the shooting death of an 18-year-old man they were randomly trying to rob in Dallas's Victory Park, according to arrest affidavits.
It just don't look like a place where someone would want to come and try to rob someone.
The shooting happened in the early morning hours of July 14th at the intersection of Houston Street and Nowitzki Way, centered around the American Airlines Center, restaurants, and more.
I wouldn't think that would happen over here.
According to police, Simmons, Gaines, and a group of people were driving a vehicle they stole during a robbery carjacking earlier that day. They unsuccessfully tried to rob someone else and then rolled upon a group of people near the AAC. They sent 2 teenage girls who were with them to distract the group.
I have heard of people like using females to actually get to people.
Then Simmons and Gaines ran up on them. 18-year-old Jake Reynosa ran, but police say Simmons shot Reynosa in the back. Surveillance video captured the crime.
You know, it's early hours of the morning, someone being killed over a cell phone. You know, you'd think we're past times like that.
Russell Wilson is a former prosecutor and current criminal defense attorney not connected to this case. We asked for his take about the 2 teenage girls who allegedly admitted to police they were trying to rob people. They are also charged with capital murder.
They'll receive a lot of protections of the juvenile system. For example, their names won't be disclosed, and the punishment that they ultimately face is significantly less than those who are adults.
According to police, Simmons, who pulled the trigger, admitted to his family he was trying to rob people. His family took him to interview with police this past weekend before he was charged.
Fox 4 spoke with a family member of Reynosa, the 18-year-old who was killed and robbed of his cell phone. That family member says he was in Dallas hanging out with friends.
I know it's not going to be easy, but I hope that they're able to find peace with it.
Islam. Assalamu alaikum, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, man. So y'all see what's going on, man. Y'all see what's going on. It's ridiculous, man. This man passed at 65 years old for a damn iPhone. A dumbass phone. Technology. Man, yo. Got you little kids out here acting crazy about a goddamn phone. This generation, boy. Yo. I don't think y'all really got it in y'all to uplift us. Cause all of y'all are on demon time. I'ma say between the ages of 15 and like 35 don't care about nothing. All they care about is drill rap, killing each other about nothing. Oh, yo, look at her fat ass. Oh, and the Gucci, Lucci, Tucci, Snoochie, Flucci, Blucci, all this bambucci pocketbooks and bro, you paying the op to kill you. You wearing all these you know what? You know how you could tell if a person got some money or not? They usually wear Walmart clothes. And the person that wear all that bambucci shit, they be the ones that be broke standing on the bus stop. Got $5,000, got a $10,000 outfit on, but you on the bus stop sleeping in your grandmother's basement. Don't got no don't got no land, don't got no property, don't got no business, have not created no generational wealth for your children. It's just you. What you want. Bro, you don't get nothing if you don't give nothing. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. You live divine laws that were given to us by the Father of the universe through the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him. Man, and you do right, man, period. You use your holy breath to teach the seeds about love, purity, and holy zeal, man. That's it. And do right. Take care of the OGs, take care of the elders, protect the babies, protect the women, and men, be ready, stay ready. That's it. That's it. That's what we're going through right now. We got so many people coming at us, warning at us. You guys do not have any idea how many organizations are out to end us here in America. Us Autochtons, us indigenous, us aboriginals, us copper-toned people with 9 spiral hair. We are the aboriginals of America. We are the first peoples of the world. Mississippi, Carolina, Tunis, i.e. Tennessee, Chicago, and now I'm seeing some Baltimore. Personally, I'm Carolinian. I'm Caramanly. Yeah, that's me. Yes. Nazarene, the real touch-tons of this promised land. They putting us in all kind of trick bags. And you youngins, y'all are the biggest op of the whole operation, duh. Y'all in the twilight zone so hard, y'all don't even give a fuck. All y'all worrying about is being cute, standing around and killing your own people. That's all you're doing. So the next generation, boy, y'all don't even listen to the OGs and the elders. And y'all are our frontline soldiers. Y'all are the frontline soldiers, man. You know, I told y'all they talking about having a draft between the ages of 18 and 26. And they taking females too. So, man, y'all better get ready. Stop all this killing each other because we need to unite, love, and look out for each other, man. That's how we going to grow. All the other nationalities, that's what they do. I just seen them practicing, they're prepping war situations. Prepping. I done watched the Caucasians do it. I done watched the Gualas do it. I done watched the Africans do it. I don't see us doing shit but fucking up our people more. Mores. So I'm done, man. It's early. You know, man, sometimes, man, I got to give y'all the fire, man. I'm sorry, man. I love y'all, but, man, we looking stupid. Everybody, all the other nations are watching us right now. And they're thinking to themselves, what in the hell are they doing? They are the real gods and goddesses of the world. And they acting like heathens. Yeah, I know we sick and we was lied to and all that. We know all that. So now it's time to tighten up and stop worrying about all the dumb shit and get to the important stuff. Okay? And us revealers of light, this is what we're doing. We're telling y'all, we're teaching y'all. Part 2 tonight. All right? About our ancient Carolinian, Caramanly, Nazarene Moors in the Carolinas. Yes. We're the oldest man in the world. They say African American. I say more. 400,000 years old. Albert Perry. Come on, man. Let's double that. Let's say 800,000 because they always scaling down on our shit and scaling up on their shit. See, I know who doing all the writing for Google and Wikipedia. Our ops. So you can't believe, you got to be able to read through that shit, man, and read through all the bull crap. I'm working on our Caramanly language now. Shouts to Shikamaga, tell him Alamasi ill. Shouts to him, man. He said, Caramanly, get on it. I'm Carolinian. He said, get on it. I got on it. 3 parts. Intro. Get to the 4th part. Hijack heaven. Caramanly, translated in the Greek. What the bleep? Bleep. I don't want that shit. I want caramelly by itself. Not caramelly translated into Greek. Yo, y'all got y'all hands in everything. Always fucking lying, man. So we here to counterattack y'all lies. Part 2 tonight, 7 p.m. Peace. Love y'all. Have a beautiful day. Keep your head on the swivel and put that cell phone down sometime, man. Put them video game that shit down sometimes. That shit turning y'all brains into mush. And y'all don't even realize it. You'll sell fentanyl all day long. Talk all greasy to the people that's buying the shit. But then you'll turn around and go straight and buy perks. Guess what? It's the same fucking thing. Dummies. But y'all supposed to be so smart, right? Once upon a time, we used to listen to and respect our OGs and our elders. Now, all I see the youngest doing now is cussing them out and treating them greasy. Stupid. You're supposed to, the old news is supposed to attach to the new news. So the new generation is supposed to come in with us and we supposed to put the pieces of the puzzle together. But y'all so trifling that y'all think y'all know more than somebody double or triple times your age. How can that happen? Wisdom comes with trials and tribulations, living life, time, even though it's artificial, right? But being on the planet, that's how you get your wisdom. Wisdom. Paris the Moon, man. I love y'all. See y'all tonight, man.